Ghostface is back, all stabby-like, in the fifth film in the Scream series, entitled, confusingly, Scream. I don't know why they do this. This is the thing that the Fast and the Furious movies do this, the Final Destination movies do this. They go so many movies in, and they're like, let's just call it the same as the first one. Scream 5? Why not? Anyway, let's call it Scream 5 for the purposes of argument, because if I keep saying Scream, you're going to think I'm talking about a movie from 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, or however long ago it was. The first Scream movie that Wes Craven did. So Wes Craven's not with us anymore. New people have taken over the Scream franchise. We have a couple of returning players, but the basic story here is that the film opens with a scene very much like the original Scream, with Drew Barrymore being terrorized over the phone by somebody who's asking her about her favorite scary movies, but it's updated and kind of amusing in an amusing way, which is what these Scream movies have been doing. And a near murder occurs, and the two young ladies find that for some reason they and their friends are being targeted by Ghostface. They enlist the help of Sidney Prescott, Neve Campbell from the original film, and Courtney Cox, and Dewey, David Arquette. So a few of the original cast come back to help try to hunt down Ghostface and keep him from killing more people in the same small town as happened to them. So it's happening again. This is much like all the other Scream sequels. You're playing by the rules. You have to know the rules of how horror movies work and how this serial killer works. And it comments a lot on the state of horror these days in reboots and remakes and franchises and fans and fan service and all that stuff. And that's something I've always kind of liked about the Scream movies, is that they knowingly wink and flat out say the isms and faults and cliches of horror while also presenting them to you. I did like that this film pointed out something that I've been saying for years, even on this fine program. So often Hollywood studios want to remake a classic, but they know it's sacrilege to do that. So they basically do a sequel or a prequel, and it's a remake, but it's so I call them requels or C-makes, films that are essentially a remake. Oz the Great and Powerful from several years ago is one I think of, or that's prequel to John Carpenter's The Thing that was also called The Thing and was pretty much a remake of The Thing, that kind of thing. That's what this Scream is. It's kind of what Scream 4 was to a degree too. But that's what this thing is, and they actually have a character come out and say it. So I was like happy to hear somebody finally coming out and saying the requel word. They were more using it in terms of reboots, which is a term I can't stand, but it's the same idea. It looks like it's a sequel, but you're really doing the same thing all over again. Force Awakens was one of those. It was a remake of Star Wars, but no, it's a sequel. So that makes it okay. So this movie did that. It hit all those buttons. The original cast they're really more helpers in this film. They're not, despite how the trailer looks, Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell and David Arquette do not have the majority of screen time in this movie, screen time, but they're more helpers. They're sage wisdom advisors to the youths who are trying to survive and determine who the killer is and stop them. They all get their moments to shine, the old cast. They all get their hero moments, the moments that I'm sure the audiences were cheering for, the hardcore fans on opening night. And overall, I thought it was fun. I didn't think it was necessary, though. And that's the thing, is it's the kind of sequel that I might forget happened. I actually liked the last one. I liked Scream 4. I like that Scream 5 takes into account all of the previous films. So you have carryovers like the female sheriff from Scream 4 and that history. It doesn't just say, yeah, forget it. It doesn't do what the new Halloweens do and say, yeah, that one happened, but the rest didn't. It takes into account everything, so it is the next chapter in the Scream series. But if you want to be harsh, I went to see this with Alamo season pass, so I wasn't paying out of pocket to see the movie. It was a weekday matinee. The movie'd been out for weeks. It was a very casual thing, and I found it entertaining and fun, happily, stabbily violent, some good stabbings in this film, and some good shock moments without resorting to stupid jump scares. But ultimately, had it never come out, I would have been fine with Scream 4 being the last movie. And I've talked to friends and fans of the other Scream films who pointed out how weak this one was. But for me, I thought it was fine. I didn't think I would get another Scream movie, so that's cool. It was a fun, light horror film with, intense moments at times. That was fun, but I'm told it's quite similar, because I don't really remember these movies after I see them very well. I'm told it's rather quite similar to Scream 4, so probably if you never see Scream 5, it's not going to matter until Scream 6 comes along, because I believe they've just announced another Scream movie. So maybe Scream 5 is going to be essential to understand Scream 6. I don't know. I don't know where you go after this last film other than somebody else puts the ghost. Maybe they should just stop selling the ghost face masks. Maybe they should really just have a public ghost face mask burning in that town or something. I guess you could always make your own. Anyway, in theaters now for probably not much longer, I came to this party kind of late, is what I consider to be just a fun throwaway experience at the movies, Scream.